uniformed grille, well body trim, on Chevelle that is, massive rear bumper, muscle. Where to see and drive them? EB Smith Chevrolet, 2nd and Woodland.
Get the message?
Channel 5, Nashville.
This is Election Night, Tennessee, with Chris Clark and Jerry Gold reporting. Brought to you by your local Coca-Cola bottlers.
Good evening. The polls close in Nashville in about 7 minutes, but 31% of the precincts have been counted in Tennessee, and so far Richard Nixon is holding on to a lead that he caught at the very beginning of the vote count. Checking right now with 824 precincts reporting, that's about 31%. Humphrey has 25% of the vote, Nixon has 43% of the vote, and Wallace 32% of the vote. So Nixon is in first place in Tennessee right now, with Wallace second and Humphrey third. CBS News election analysis of sample precincts shows that Wallace is cutting sharply into former Democratic enclaves in western areas of the state, along with the traditionally Democratic voters, including blue-collar workers and farmers. Humphrey comes out of these pockets with only a narrow lead over Nixon and trailing Wallace. Meanwhile, these early returns indicate that Nixon is piling up a heavy majority in the Republican eastern section of Tennessee, as our votes return just showed. In the House race in the 4th District, Evans has won re-election for his 12th term. He has 62% of the vote counted thus far, and Bowles has 38%. Evans 31,000, Bowles 19,000. Checking the other precincts, the 6th District Tennessee House, Anderson has 59% of the vote counted thus far, and gospel singer Ronnie Page has 41% of the vote. That's with 84 precincts, or 22% of the vote in. And this just in, CBS has called freshman Congressman Ray Blanton a winner in the 7th District. Blanton, whose district is extremely race conscious, identified himself with the Wallace campaign, according to CBS, and that in that 7th District now we're talking about, with 81% of the 81 precincts counted, that's 20%. As you can see, Blanton has 69% of the votes to Williams 31%. We are calling Ray Blanton now a winner. He has won re-election in that particular race. Later returns just in now on the Humphrey campaign. The percentage is holding just about the same, 33% of the vote. 1/3 of the Tennessee precincts have been counted now, and Nixon is holding on to his 43% edge. Wallace has 32% of the vote counted, and Humphrey has 25% of the vote. This does not look good for Hubert Humphrey. We'll have some comments on that, but first, this message from Coca-Cola.
And over, up and over. You're almost up there along with him. You're sure getting thirsty along with him. What you could use now is a Coke. Fast. Things go better with Coke because Coke has the taste you never get tired of. Fresh and crisp and special every time. Coca-Cola, served at the training centers of the U.S. Olympic team. They'll tell you, Coke has the taste you never get tired of. That's why things go better with Coke.
Stanley Snodgrass is heading up the Humphrey campaign in Tennessee. Stanley, right now, Humphrey has about 27, 26, 25% of the vote right now, coming in third to Nixon and Wallace. This has got to discourage you somewhat.
Well, it's discouraging at this point, that's right. I don't know where all these precincts are from, Chris. I assume that a good many of them from East Tennessee. I would have thought Mr. Nixon would have been stronger, frankly, if these are East Tennessee precincts. I'd have to say from the figures you've got in front of you that Mr. Wallace is really running a little stronger than people anticipated.
Is Humphrey in trouble in Tennessee?
If I knew where these precincts came from, if they were general or statewide, I'd say definitely. I have a feeling that a great majority of them are from East Tennessee.
From East Tennessee, some a scattering of Middle Tennessee. So you think that is not too significant for Humphrey at this point?
Well, I think it's certainly not good, but it's not fatal if all of these are East Tennessee precincts. We really need to get into some of the Middle Tennessee and particularly the urban areas before you can see exactly what sort of effect Mr. Wallace is going to have statewide and whether or not Mr. Nixon is going to retain the suburban vote in the large cities in Tennessee that was anticipated.
An early ratio of 3-1 on the most controversial question, question 3, has been narrowed somewhat. Now, 5,600 Tennesseans have voted for the issue, while 3,200 have voted against. We'll have more reports, of course, as the evening progresses. Chris?
Stay tuned now. CBS and Walter Cronkite next with the national results. We'll be back in 25 minutes with more local results.
Tune in again at 7:25 for more up-to-the-minute election returns on Election Night, Tennessee. Brought to you by your local Coca-Cola bottlers.
The askers. They're the people who believe you don't get what you want unless you ask for it. Think up something to ask Superbank for. Don't be afraid. It never hurts to ask.
My coffee break sure means a lot to me. So to get the most out of it, I top it off with Juicy Fruit gum. Juicy Fruit's got a great flavor, and it gives me a little energy boost, too. Try it and see.
Stretch your coffee break. Top it off with Juicy Fruit gum.
Channel 5, Nashville.
CBS News coverage of Election Night 68. Reporting from election headquarters, Walter Cronkite.